Let me bring in Emma, because I want to play a clip. This is of this big Nancy Mace row. She's obviously introduced a bill to bar transgender women from facilities on Capitol Hill. This is a week after the Republican-elect Sarah McBride made history by becoming the first openly transgender person elected to Congress. Let's take a look at the Nancy Mace explanation as to why she's doing this.
This effort in response to Congresswoman McBride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, if someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way.
Now, Emma, Sarah McBride replied by saying this is a blatant attempt from far right-wing extremists to distract from the fact they have no real solutions to what Americans are facing. To which I say, well, I'm not even vaguely right, and I think it's wrong that biological men who've become trans women...
So if you couldn't tell by the facial expressions, this is Luke Beasley, this is Emma Vigeland. They're the left in this conversation. Hence, when he said he's not right, the face is being pulled, just in case you weren't aware of who the people were.
Be in women's spaces.
You're not vaguely right, Piers.
No, I'm
I just listened to a segment where you agreed with Glenn Beck,
I would say
that, right commentators in the country repeatedly.
But rather
apparently something's happening
hang on,
because Bill Maher and someone you saw on TikTok
I haven't finished yet. Let me ask you a question.
Hysterical. Go ahead.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do not.
I love the disdain. I just love it. I just don't think she's ever going to ask back. It's fantastic. Another thing is the disdain, but the facts that she spits as well.
Not identified. I know you believe a lot in self-identity. I do not identify as conservative right. Okay. I'm like Bill Maher. I'm just completely bemused by the woke left and how nuts you've all got. Right. And I think this
Bill Maher's an old rich libertarian who's bitter at the world.
Yet. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Right. Here's my question. If I, as a man who identifies as a liberal, if I can see why it's so wrong for biological men who have now become trans women to be in women's spaces, to be in women's sport, to be everywhere in women's lives where they historically were not biological men supposed to be, why are you not as exercised by this as a woman? I don't get it.
Get him, Emma.
They're all about women's rights.
First of all, absolutely. I host a sports podcast. I care deeply about sports, and I believe that anybody that identifies as a woman should be able to participate in the sport as long as it abides by the particular bylines or guidelines.
You know it's wrong. You know it's unfair.
Said sports league, but actually, we're talking here about Nancy Mace, who loves a camera in her face and loves attention wherever she can get it. I find it pretty disgusting that she is basically implying that this trans lawmaker, just by being in her presence in the bathroom, may rape her. I do choose to speak up for women's rights. I believe that I do so on my program, The Majority Report, regularly, and I'm disgusted that Nancy Mace has decided essentially to support Donald Trump wholeheartedly, who has been found liable of sexual abuse in court, and multiple of his cabinet appointments picks, including Pete Hegseth and Matt Gaetz, have been credibly accused of sexual assault themselves. So apparently it's triggering for her because
when you say credibly accused,
so this is Piers needs to run a defence now. He needs to run a bit of a buffer, if you will, pardon the pun, and he has to get away from that because this is the thing about the whole bathroom bill thing. Just so we're really clear, what it's doing is it's saying if there is a transgender woman in the bathroom, they're going to rape me. That's what they're painting the brush with, right? Because I don't know if you've ever used a unisex toilet out in public and sat in a stall next to someone of the opposite sex who's sitting in the stall, and the Conservatives are like, well, what are they there for? They're there to empty their fucking bladder. What do you think they're there for? But this accusation is based in this absolute transphobic statement that that transgender people, especially women, are only in that space for a nefarious reason. Now, are there going to be outliers in every conversation? Of course there are. But this is based on the fact that the one example they can provide means every single one of them is only there for nefarious reasons. And it's really important to remember because they do go to the anecdotal here a little bit, but the facts never back it up. Do you want to say anything before I push play, Joey?
Yeah, I just want to say historically, rapists and abusers don't usually need to go through decades of hormone therapy and electrolysis and more expensive wardrobe to gain access to female spaces to do what they want to do. Like Piers' assertion there that these people are everywhere and they're all out for this is laughable when we look at the percentage of the population that may be trans. it is disgusting. Like I am going to say that there are people that have suffered abuse and they have trauma. I understand this is a difficult thing to get around, but there are more men that are abusers and rapists and are just walking around as men, or church leaders, or politicians, than there are trans people being trans to abuse people.
Later on,
an order of magnitude more.
Different.
All of them.
Stall next
When you say
to
credibly
her.
accused,
Well, but it doesn't
last two
matter
names
to
you
her
mentioned
that Trump
the
has
last
been
two-
found liable
you
of
can't just keep
sexual
talking.
assault in
All right.
court.
She can. She does.
Piers, has Trump been found liable of sexual
Time
assault
out.
in court with
Trump was
Carroll?
found guilty in a civil action. He denied it, as you know.
Found
and in case of
liable, exactly.
and the case of Gates and Pete
So
Hesketh,
the preponderance of evidence went in her
keep
direction.
talking.
And he's
She can.
and she's been
All right, keep
and
talking.
he has been accused
Let
by
me know when you
dozens of
finish.
women.
Let
There
me know
you
when
go.
you finished?
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
When we have a debate, the customary for the host leads it, and you respond to questions, okay? If I may be so bold. The point is that Hesketh and Gates have categorically denied any wrongdoing, and none has been proven against them. In Trump's case, it was a civil action, as you know, not a criminal action. The criminal case...
So therefore, he'd be in favour of the House releasing the report they've just done on Gates, because then there might be some credible evidence about some of the accusations that's been made, maybe.
If you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear, right?
Very good. Get it all out there.
That's what these guys love.
Get it all out there.
Fling paperwork over an alleged one-night stand with a porn star. So it's not quite how you categorized it. Deborah Lee, let me bring you in here.
Has this trans lawmaker been accused of rape? Has this trans lawmaker...
No, but actually, if you are...
So this is the other very, very, very good point. He's defending these men who have been accused of sexual assault. This particular transgender elected official hasn't been accused of anything, but she's still being treated like she's a danger. Men accused credibly, as Em has said, of sexual violations, assaults, crimes, but not a conviction. We're going to let them go because they've said they hadn't done it. Transgender governor or congresswoman, never been accused of anything. We're going to treat her like dirt. It's such a good point. It's such a good point.
If you're a congresswoman who survived sexual assault, you should be entitled to feel safe in the restroom.
The presence of a trans woman in the bathroom. Oh gosh, you know, here in New York there are a lot of multi-gender bathrooms, and I've gone to the bathroom next to a man. Oh my goodness, I was so fearful. What was I going to do
be quite fearful if I found you lurking next to me in a men's restroom. I'd feel fearful. Deborah Lee, let me bring you in here. I just think
that is a ridiculous accusation, Piers.
I didn't make an accusation. It was a statement of fact. I would feel fearful.
You would feel uncomfortable? Why would you feel uncomfortable?
If you were lurking around me in a men's urinal, damn right I'd feel uncomfortable.
Lurking? Who's lurking?
Well, what else would you be doing there?
Is this lawmaker lurking?
What else would you be doing there?
Again, fantastic point. Is this lawmaker lurking? No. All these words that they use, all these emotive things that they say, and they're not true when you apply them to the person they're saying them about.
The restroom.
I don't want you going to my restroom. Stick in your own restroom. For my safety, never mind yours.
Okay, would a man be lurking? A biological man is lurking next to you?
That's the whole point.
Why is there something something inherently perverted about going to the bathroom? You right-wingers, and yes, I'm including you in this with this classical liberal BS, are so bad faith. It's incredible. You are linking sexual abuse and sexual assault to trans people inherently, and that is a bigoted statement.
No, I want trans people to have, I want them to have fairness and equality like the rest of us, just not where it erodes women's rights.